Alright, so I saw this movie over a week ago. It only just came out here in Australia after the massive success in the US. And I haven't watched a single movie since. And that for me is very weird. I watch movies all week. I haven't seen a single movie after this. Not at home, not at the theatre. I've just been thinking about the film that I've just seen. And I've been thinking and just getting more and more angry at the fact that this film, why is this film controversial? Why has this film not been released sooner? Why was it sitting on the shelf for 4 years? Why are Netflix and Amazon refusing to fucking put it on their platform to rent? I've literally just read this today, that Amazon and Netflix don't want this movie on their platform. I do not get it. I need an answer as to why they won't show this film. Have Netflix and Amazon come out and said why? Have Disney come out and said why they sold this film and they didn't want anything to do with it after it was made? I do not get it. And all of these news outlets in America, the magazines in America, when this film came out, talking about how, this film's just a massive conspiracy theory. This film is, what was one of the headlines? Brainworms for dads, or dads on brainworms or something. I really do not get it. How can you be against this film? I really want to know how anyone could be against this film. It's literally about stopping child traffickers, the most innocent among us, children, stopping the people that are fucking abducting them, selling them. How can this be controversial? How can people not applaud Tim Ballard, not applaud Jim Caviezel for playing his character, not applaud Angel Studios for bringing this movie out there? I just don't get it. This is by far the most important film of the year, one of the most important films ever made. It brings light to a fucking disgusting issue. Again, I'm trying to remain calm. How the fuck is this film controversial? I need an explanation. I do not get it. I do not fucking get it at all. So I'll do my best to review the movie itself. You know, I was anticipating this film ever since the news started breaking out in America about how cinemas' lights were going off, fire alarms were going off, sound wasn't working. It was just so fucking fishy. And me and my mate were like, what's the bet we get there and the lights are on or something? And, you know, luckily we're in Australia. That didn't happen. Thank fuck. But the movie itself, man, this movie was heavy. Fucking heavy. I saw it with my dad and a mate. When we left, we were silent on the car ride home. And my mate messaged me when he got back and was like, I sat in the car in dead silence, no music, because of what we felt after this film. They do a really good job in letting you know what's about to happen. Like there's like all these kids in a room and the door was shut and it would just be dead silence, but you know what's happening. Or there's one kid in a room and some old fucking creep fat fuck has come in and sit down and the door's shut, but you know what's about to happen. But the film does a good job in letting you know that, but not showing you that. They don't need to go out of their way to make this film extra fucking disturbing, because you know what's going on behind that door is fucking disturbing. They don't need to show you that. That being said, there are some very disturbing scenes in this film. For me, the one where these kids are getting photo shoots from the bitch that fucking abducted them. And basically these photo shoots are what's going to be their selling point of these kids. And that scene was just fucked. I don't even want to imagine what these victims, what these kids have gone through. It's just, again, the fact that this goes on is so fucking disturbing. The two kids in the film that the story is actually based off of, what they must have gone through, man, is just fucked. And Tim Ballard has saved them from that. I don't know how people can have any bad words about Tim Ballard. If you don't stand with his political alignment, if you don't stand with his religion or whatever the fuck, that's fair enough. But you have to applaud Tim Ballard. You have to sit back and say, that's a real hero. These are the type of people we should be looking up to. You know, I look up to celebrities. I do. I look up to sportsmen. Obviously, you can look up to those people. I do. Everybody does. But people like Tim Ballard, they don't get any recognition. You'll hear it, you know, once every now and then. You hear it now because his movie's out. But I didn't even know the name Tim Ballard before this film came out. I had no idea. These are the people we should be placing up on a pedestal and saying, look at these people. These are fucking heroes. Jim Caviezel, you know, he's always been one of my favorite actors. Passion of the Christ for me is, you know, such a great film. And the fact he was basically cancelled after that because of his Christian views is, again, just fucking stupid. But I've heard that so many actors turned this role down, but he didn't. He played Tim Ballard in this film. His performance was just so good, fucking gut-wrenching at times. He just did such a good job. Everybody involved in this film, I only applaud you. The film, as I said, it was so disturbing. I haven't seen it again, and as much as I want to watch it again, I don't think I can. I can't go see this at the theater again. It is that heavy. I'll definitely be buying it to support this film, and sharing it as much as possible. This is a film you need to see at least once, even if you know it's going to be disturbing. I knew it was going to be disturbing. The subject matter in this film is fucked. It's children being stolen and trafficked. The most innocent among us. Stolen and trafficked. So you know that it's going to be heavy, but you need to see this. You need to share this with as many people as possible. Tell as many people as possible to go and see this, because you just... I never realized how much this goes on. Like, the start of the film, there's surveillance footage of kids just getting snatched out of nowhere. And there's, in the credits, Jim Caviezel, he's talking about the numbers. And during the movie, they talk about the numbers, how many kids go missing and how many kids get trafficked. And whether, you know, the reason for this film being, you know, not shown or trying to be stopped, whether it's because it's political, because of what's going on at the border in America, whether it's just people being tolerant, which I don't get that. How the fuck are you tolerant to fucking kids that abduct, to fucking adults that abduct kids? I don't get it. Whether any of those reasons, you need to go see this. You need to know what's going on. And the fact that this movie, again, the fact that this movie is trying to be stopped, the fact that it wasn't even supposed to be out, the fact they had to try that hard to get it out, it's fucking disgusting and it's fucking disturbing. As I said, leaving that theater, I was just sat in silence. I was crying throughout the whole movie. I had tears in my eyes the whole time. We need to see this film. You need to spread this as much as possible. You know, it's an issue that no one wants to think about. You know, you don't want to think about that stuff. You don't even want to know. Well, you don't even want to think this happens, but it fucking does. So we just need to spread this movie. Just stop with all the bullshit about, oh, Jim Caviezel's part of this theory, conspiracy theory, Tim Ballard's a liar. Just fucking stop with all that bullshit, please. It's fucking disgusting. So please go out, see this movie, support this film. It was never supposed to be released. So go out and support the fuck out of it. And I know the main reasons people say about why these companies and Hollywood and the government didn't want this film released. Like in the movie, there's a clear link to Epstein Island. And that's people's number one, saying that, you know, these celebrities, they don't want all their dirt getting out there. Because Epstein had a list. I definitely believe Epstein was fucking killed. He didn't kill himself. Get fucked. But I need another explanation as to why this movie's being shut down. Why Netflix and Amazon don't want it. You can't. They're obviously not going to come out and say, we want to protect all of Epstein's flight log, all the people that were on his plane, because we don't want that getting out there. They're obviously not going to say that. So what's the reason? What's another reason as to why they don't want this film released? Why aren't they having it available to rent? They've got fucking every movie on earth available to rent, but they won't have this film on their platform. And if you say it's too controversial, give me a fucking break. There's movies 100 times more controversial than this. The film was directed so well, acted so well. It was written amazingly. The pacing was great. Also really appreciated, no matter how disturbing the subject matter of this film is, when they're telling you the story about how Tim Ballard went over and he was trying to track down as many of these traffickers as possible. And he's doing it, I forget the other guy's name, but the other guy over in this country has been basically buying kids, pretending to be a trafficker and setting them free. And also this other rich guy who does the same thing. So they're heroes as well. And when they're over there and they're trying to make this plan, they're sort of bonding and they're laughing and they're smiling. And that really, it lightens up the movie a bit, because you know what they're doing. They're trying to rescue these kids. It's a fucking serious issue, but they can have a smile and you feel great for them because they see this horror every day. They go through this horror every day. And for them to just sit down and have a joke with each other at, other traffickers' expenses, which is why it's funny. They know they're about to fucking capture these fucks. So they're getting a giggle out of that. That's really refreshing in the film. Just everything about this film. It's such a good movie with such an important message that everybody needs to go see at least once. Everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care what political side you align yourself with. You need to go and see this film. And if you come out of this film having a problem that it's too heavy for you, okay. But if you come out of this film like some of these fucking news companies and magazines and shit have been saying, it's fucking brainworms for dads and whatever the fucking headlines are. If you come out of this film negative like that, fuck off. That's all I can say. So all that being said, I'm going to give this film a 10 out of 10. This is the most important film of the year. I cannot recommend seeing this film enough. Even if you just watch it once, you need to be aware of what's going on. You don't want to be aware of it because it's so fucked, but it happens. So you need to know this shit's going on. So definitely go out and see this. And thanks always for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.